You arrive at the suspect's office. Their encrypted workstation is powered on and unlocked. If you unplug that machine right now, you permanently destroy the encryption keys and the most valuable evidence in your case. Welcome to the reWant Courseware Digital Presentation Series, produced for the John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Recovering a key artifact from a hard drive is just the first step. In modern forensics, that artifact is legally inert if the investigator cannot mathematically demonstrate that it survived the collection process without a single bit being altered. Every corporate investigation presents an immediate conflict. Investigators must balance operational continuity, keeping the business running, against forensic purity, which requires freezing the digital scene exactly as it was found. The legal system evaluates digital evidence with extreme skepticism. Without a mathematically verifiable and procedurally consistent order of operations, a defense attorney can challenge the timeline of the investigation, leading the court to exclude the evidence entirely. When you secure a live device, the first requirement is capturing active RAM using specialized triage tools like volatility or magnet RAM capture. This must occur before any other interaction with the system. This volatile memory holds artifacts that do not exist on the hard drive. We're looking at running process trees, active network connections, and logged-in session tokens that provide the only pathway into encrypted or cloud-authenticated environments. Because this specific data state exists only while the system has power, it vanishes the millisecond the machine is shut down. In digital forensics, the order of operations determines whether the evidence survives. A single sequencing error at this stage permanently destroys data that no technical tool or courtroom subpoena can recover. Extraction is followed by the requirement for continuous validation. Investigators must be able to prove to a judge that the file presented in court is identical to the one gathered at the scene. For years, investigators relied on MD5, but due to collision vulnerabilities, where two different files output identical strings, the community shifted. The current standard, SHA-256, generates a unique 256-bit fingerprint for every artifact. Matching this fingerprint from collection to analysis verifies file integrity. Reliable math still requires disciplined human protocols. Under the NIST SP886 framework, investigators maintain an unbroken chain of custody log and utilize hardware write blockers to ensure the original source remains unchanged during imaging. Retroactive documentation is a critical procedural failure. If transfer logs and hash values are not recorded at the moment they occur, opposing counsel can create enough doubt about the handling of the evidence to disqualify it from the proceeding. This procedural rigor provides the necessary foundation for admission under the federal rules of evidence. Under Rules 902.13 and 902.14, digital records can achieve self-authentication. By generating a SHA-256 master hash at collection and signing a certificate of digital authenticity, you establish a defensible foundation that satisfies the court's integrity requirements without needing additional testimony. Combining cryptographic math with disciplined documentation saves massive litigation resources. It allows the digital evidence to be admitted on its own merits, bypassing the need for an examiner to establish a foundation on the witness stand. Even technical perfection is not a total legal shield, as demonstrated by the case of United States versus Ganius. In Ganius, investigators retained forensic images of hard drives for years, including personal data that fell outside the scope of their warrant. This case clarifies that forensically sound collection does not authorize indefinite retention. If the data kept exceeds the legal authorization, it creates significant Fourth Amendment risks. Looking to the future, NIST has finalized its first post-quantum cryptography standards. As the math of security changes, forensic practitioners must be ready to adapt their hashing methodologies to ensure their evidence remains valid against future challenges. While specific algorithms will evolve, the core requirement for verifiable truth remains the center of digital investigations. Like, follow, and subscribe. Stay curious and want knowledge.